This is the Book Deal podcast,
where you will discover the inspiring stories behind your favourite books.
We interview seasoned and debut authors, as well as publishing industry professionals, to bring you the best tips and advice on how to get that elusive book deal.
So no matter what stage of writing you're at, we've got you covered. I'm Tina Strawn.
I'm Madeleine Cleary.
And I'm Natasha Rye.
And join us as we pull back the curtain of published authors,
one deal at a time. The Book Deal podcast acknowledges the traditional owners of the land and waters which it's recorded on, and pays respect to their elders past, present, and emerging. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Hi.
We just sorted ourselves out before we hit record of who was going to say hello first.
And we did it. Woo!
You did such a great job. No chatting over the top of each other. Good work, girls.
I can't believe another month's gone by. We've had our weather chat already, so we don't have to do that on the podcast this time.
Mm-hmm.
How have you both been? I'm so keen to hear about your updates. I know that you've both been super busy again. But Tash, I'm really, really keen. I've been so excited. I've been trying to restrain myself from asking you, how did your workshop on Friday go? Because this is something that you've been building to for a while.
Yes. So the workshop I did on Friday was for Randwick City Council. And it was an idea I had a while ago about bringing my two loves together. So the work that I do on healing trauma through the body and then, of course, writing. But I didn't want to make it about trauma. So I was wondering, because I've been thinking about this so much, and we've had chats on the pod about this, about, you know, how it feels to be in creative flow and how do you harness your creativity. And I was like, I reckon you can, depending on, like, you know, regardless of what baseline your nervous system has, you could pretty much shift out of it to harness some kind of creative flow. So I just devised this workshop, and I had 14 artists come, and I was a bit intimidated at first because they weren't just writers. There was like a writer, there was a playwright, there's a sculpturist, visual artist, and then, of course, the people I was really envious of who were like, I'm a multi-form artist. And I'm like, oh, my Lord.
Whoa. Yeah.
I know. But once we got into it, oh, my God, I was loving it. It was so interesting to hear people sharing what creative flow feels like for them, and also just having this beautiful conversation around the differences between like a visual artist and obviously a writer, but also how much we have in common. Like what kind of feeling you need in your body, in your mind, what kind of thoughts you might need to even begin. And I think in any workshop, there are always synchronicities and common themes that come up. And the things that kept coming up were things around time. So creative time, if you're working and have family commitments, you know, like if you have a life, how do you justify putting time into your creative pursuit, especially because, you know, a lot of artists don't make a primary living out of their work. So that was the one theme. And the other theme, of course, was imposter syndrome. So it's like, well, what do you do with that? And it was so cool because I overheard a couple of people going, oh my God, I've learned so much about myself. Like people were saying they've really realized how much negativity or kind of judgment they have on their own process. And we were playing around with some ideas of what happens if you shift and how do you shift out of that to enable you just to do the creation, forget what happens after in terms of selling or publishing. And it was so good. I had the best time.
Oh, Tash, I have so many questions. I'm sure Tina has so many questions too. I can just see. So, what in terms of creative flow, what do the way people describe it, is it similar?
Yes. So we came to the conclusion that what we think is creative flow is kind of your nervous system is kind of in a blended state. So you need a little bit of your freeze response, you shut down because you need to be quiet and need to be still, like in terms of that being in one place doing something. Then you need a bit of your sympathetic because that's your energy and your excitement and enthusiasm. And then you need what we call the social engagement system, which is when you're feeling the joy and the kind of, you have the vision and you have like that kind of flowy feeling where you know how if you really get into it, you can just sit for hours and write, or you just forget time. But we feel like you need a bit of all three, because if you have too much sympathetic, you're going to be agitated, and maybe because quite a few people said they have this idea, they sit down and they said, I think one person said this, a playwright, she was like, I sit down and then within like 10 minutes, I'm like, oh, I can't do any of this. This is too hard. I don't know. I'm no good at this. So, and now that's an example of your system just kind of going really quickly down into like this shutdown. So, so that was cool.
Actually, do you have any, what did you suggest for that person? Is there any sort of exercises or something that you were suggesting for them to get themselves out of that? Because that's such a shame, isn't it, to have these ideas but not be able to get them down?
So the model that I was using, it's like in terms of every human, we have all these what I call channels of experience. So most of us, the channels that we know best are our meaning making, like our prefrontal cortex, where we analyze and we do all our why questions. Like, why am I so bad at this? Why can't I do this? And the thing with why questions is they can be useful, but actually they just keep us stuck in a loop. And we just keep, the whys just go on forever. Like, you know that, I'm sure we've all done it. And the whys don't actually lead you anywhere that is an answer. Like, you know, lots of people are like, well, I know why I do all of this. Nothing changes it though. So that's one channel. So another channel could be using your emotions, or another channel could be using movement. And when I say movement, I don't mean like a dance or a yoga, but if you're someone who has a lot of energy in your system all the time, maybe you could go for a walk, but sometimes the walk is just kind of makes you kind of hype you up a bit more. Or maybe if you're going for a leisurely walk, it can do something to settle. But just we were playing around with some simple movements around tensing the body quite consciously and deliberately, and then releasing, and then doing some bit of breath work, and just helping the system, because what that does is it just helps your system reset, which is what you actually need to shift. You don't need to hype yourself up even more or keep pushing yourself down into wherever you might be. You actually just need to do a little reset. And some of these little things that we were trying out do that. It's just a different way in.
This is so interesting. Oh, can you come and do a course in Melbourne, Tash?
I'd love to, because I've been really, because I felt it went really well, that now I'm really, really keen to try and like do as much of it I can with creatives, because it seems to work with any type of art form. Like obviously I wrote it initially for writers, but it was really, I think it was really good. Like I really enjoyed myself, which is, you know, the sign that I was using. Everyone seemed very engaged, and people came up to me afterwards to specifically tell me that they found it useful. So unless they were lying, I'm going to take that on face value.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's anything else. I haven't heard of anything else like that around specifically for creatives. And you're just the perfect person to host these kinds of workshops. So that's incredible. If anyone would like to book Tash, you can find her at whatever your
Tina.
whatever your email address is. Natasha Wright. No, but like that would be huge. I could see benefit at all sorts of, like, so you did it for the council, which was pretty incredible
because
that they took that on.
The thing is, like what I overheard a couple of people saying, I've really learned a lot about myself. That's the point of it, because everyone is different, and so that's why, like, sometimes when you just have exercises, they don't really work for everyone, because your system may not be responding in a way that you need it to for that. So it's actually better for you to go, oh, that's where I'm usually at. I'm usually, you know, this high energy usually, or I usually feel very, very kind of flat. Sounds negative, but it's not. Like I'm usually quite flat, for example. So what can I do to bring more energy into my system? And then you can adapt things. And it's much better if you're coming from a place of knowing and connecting to yourself. Then you can choose. It's not like some random exercise that you're like, I don't even know what this does for me, but somehow it works or somehow it doesn't. And then you actually can understand what might be good for you.
And get out of that sort of, sometimes you get in your own head, don't you? And that's the thing that destroys that creative flow. I can see this being used even in corporations and government, and because oftentimes you do start to question yourself. And Tash, I found it interesting that you were yourself questioning yourself before you did the workshop as well.
Because like it's so experimental. Like I didn't know if it would make sense, but it does make sense. And the thing I also don't like is, you can buy block programs where you can do some exercises. I don't like them because they don't seem to be very informative as to why and how it helps you. And I think as well with creativity, there is no magic answer. There is no do this and you'll feel great. So I'm a big believer in you need to know yourself, and then you can choose whatever you want to make yourself feel good or have a state of mind or find something that works for you. And that was like the kind of foundation for even writing this.
Maybe this is why we all exercise as well. A lot of writers do, don't they? They tend to go on those long walks. They've got that body movement, and it's not necessarily just for the physical health, but it is for the nervous system. It's to try and bring us back to something that's good for creative flow. And anyway, we could do a whole episode on this, which maybe we should, but like in future. Tina, how about you? How are you going? You've been really busy.
Yeah, I have. Oh, yeah, always busy. It's amazing how, the writing life can just fill your time, kind of, which is so fun though, and so great. So yeah, just still writing, just working on something at the moment. And I just mentioned before, I am in that state at the moment of, I know that I should probably just submit it. Like I'm just tinkering.
I was just going to say, Tina, are you tinkering? That was the exact word.
Tinkering is the word. And I hold on to things, but I think we do, right? We're trying to be, well, I know I'm trying to get it to the best possible state that I can, but I'm also a little bit in that mind space of, it's kind of, how we all go through that stage when we're writing where we get to that point where we're like, oh, this is rubbish. This is terrible. Like, I can't write. This is so crap. What have I done? And you just really sort of doubt yourself. And now I've come to the end of it and I'm like, this is good. Yeah, I like where it's at. But then I kind of go, well, is it just because you've been staring at it for so long? Like, can you not see the problems in this anymore? And yeah, so it's really about, I just really need to take I think I need to take a couple of days away from it actually, and come back and then have a look with some fresh eyes, and stop tinkering. So it doesn't have to be perfect.
Is it time, Tina, to share it with someone, a trusted reader perhaps?
Yeah, and I do that. I do that a lot of the time. So yeah, potentially. I'm still at that point though of even sharing it with them. Do I share it yet? I don't know. Sometimes you just need a bit of time and a bit of space away and a bit of a breath. So I think that's what my next task is going to be. Anyway,
word tinkering. Yes. I mean, it's just so tempting, isn't it? And it is just to spend sometimes a whole hour goes by and you've just done a paragraph.
You've done nothing.
My experience.
Yeah, I know. Well, you've got less words. Like, how does that work? Yeah, look, I'm sure we've all been there before, and we learn from past mistakes, but it's still not any easier, is it? It just seems like the process. It's all part of the process, isn't it?
I liked what Emily Maguire said about it. And Tash, you had a moment, I think, when Emily said this on the podcast, which I loved. And I laughed so hard because I think you were like, I'm staring off in the distance, just thinking about it, which I found delightful. And yeah, Emily said that the work, like she was saying how the work is in the rewriting. The work is made in the rewriting. When she said that, I just felt so vindicated because I just spent the last 6 months rewriting this book, right? And just going, oh my God, it could have been just fine. Like if I just left it alone, it might have been fine. Why have I done why? The why questions. Why have I put so much work into this? Am I overthinking it? But no, she's right. It's not, the work doesn't become the work until the very end when it's on the shelf. And that's what you're doing, Tina. So maybe it's not just about tinkering. This is the rewriting, the thinking,
Yeah, no, you're right. So I should keep tinkering. Is that what you're saying? So I go for a bit longer. Alrighty, okay.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, when does it feel right, like to you? When does it feel like it's whole? And I definitely resonated with Emily when she was talking about that, because for the Butterfly Women, it didn't feel right until that last third structural edit. Because I think Emily was sort of saying she hadn't been properly structurally edited until her third book, and And yeah, like I was, yeah, it felt right at the end. And then it just felt like, yes, I can release this now.
Yeah. 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 And I think I'm a little bit there as well. I think, yeah, you do have to trust your gut a little bit. And that's the reason for the tinkering. Because I've certainly finished stuff and been like, yes, this is it. Here I go. I'm submitting. But so sometimes I think, yeah, if that's not the feeling that I have, then it just needs a little bit more time. Even though I can't see what to change or do at the moment, it just needs a little bit of time. So, and you know what? I've got time, so that's okay. There's always time, I
Well,
think.
I'm sure Tash and I are available if you'd like a second pair of eyes,
Exactly.
Tina.
Yes,
Oh,
we
thank
are.
you. Yes, well, you never, yeah, I might have to take you up on that one.
Yeah, anytime, anytime.
Yeah, apart from writing, yeah, I've been like organizing some workshops and things that I have coming up because it's school holidays again very soon in like 2 weeks. I can't
It
believe
feels
it.
like it was only school
It
holidays like
was.
a second ago.
It really was. And I can't believe, I don't know if you girls are up to this yet, because what are we now? June. And I'm looking in the calendar, I'm booking things in, and then I'm ending up at like September and October. And basically September and October is Christmas and it's the end of the year. So like it's just, I cannot believe how fast this year's flying. But yes, there's more school holidays very soon. So I do have a couple of school holiday workshops for anybody who is around in the Southeast Queensland area during the school holidays. I have an event on at Harry Hartog on the 7th of July. That's Harry Hartog in Carindale. And the 9th of July at the Book Bouquet in Ipswich, which I'm very excited to go to because it's a bookshop and a florist together.
Oh,
I know. I'm so
Oh,
excited to visit the store. So that'll be super, super cool. So yeah, kids workshops, we're going to do some fun writing activities, we're going to do some Wilder Zoo themed activities and maybe a little bit of craft as well. So come along to that. And I've also got the CYA conference, which is on the 11th and the 12th of July, and quite a big announcement actually this year that it will be the last year that CYA will be doing the conference in the form that they're currently doing it in. So we don't know what's to come yet, but it's such a huge conference. It actually goes for months before the actual day where there's assessments and there's boot camps. It's huge. So yeah, there's a couple of weekends actually of like online presentations as well. So yes, hopefully in the following years it'll still be around in some form, but it's the last year that sounds like it's going to be how it currently is, which is a bit sad, but you never know moving forward. Yeah, it might be better in different ways or bigger and better in other ways, but tickets are still available for that if anyone wants to come along to the last one in its current form. Um, yeah, so looking forward to that, mostly as a networking and get to say hi to everyone again.
Yeah, I'd love to just come just for the drinks. I remember you telling us about the drinks last time. It sounds
The
great.
networking event, yeah, it's pretty
Networking event.
fun.
Oh, that'll be great, Tina.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and Tash, did you have any other updates as well? I know you recently revealed something very exciting to us. I'm not sure if you're allowed to reveal it on the podcast yet.
what did I reveal?
I think I tried to ask this last time.
The title of your new
Oh, the title. God. I'm like, what is it? I'm excited because I don't even know
What did I do?
I actually don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Why not? Like, what's the risk, right?
I don't know.
Publicity getting cranky?
Should we do a drum roll? Should we?
Oh, should we keep the suspense going until you get the final tick off from your publicist? Because it's such a great title. I think it's really
Maybe I should just say it
appealing.
because
I should say it.
I'll just say it because their old title is up on their website already, so it can't.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just say it. So the title of my book that's out next year is called The Bride Price.
Ooh.
The Bride Price, Tash. And is there a log line we can?
Yeah, is there something meets
God.
something?
Okay.
Tash, give us your one-liner.
What's your elevator pitch, Tash? You asked
okay.
the
Oh, actually, I've got the meat, the meat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got it. Okay. Kate Mildenhall's The Hummingbird Effect meets Margaret Atwood.
Wow.
That's so cool. But what kind of Margaret Atwood? Like, what? Be specific. Like, is it an Alias Grace or is it like a Handmaid's Tale?
It's more around the feminist principles.
Okay, interesting. Is it like so? But it's got the speculative.
Yeah.
with like the hummingbird effect.
Yeah.
With historical?
Yep.
Oh, this is so exciting.
Wow,
Yeah.
Next month we'll ask you for your elevator pitch,
Oh
Tash.
God, I've got a bit of
Mhm.
yeah, I've got a whole month to work on it. Actually, just one other I just want to mention one other thing because Tina, you reminded me when you were talking about your workshops. So I'll be in Melbourne next month in July. The Q-Lit Festival is on, which is a celebration of queer literature and queer writers. So that is from the 17th to the 19th of July in Melbourne, and I'll be hosting a panel on the Sunday about writing. I think I'm going to get the panel title wrong, so I apologize, but it's about writing amazing characters. So if you're in Melbourne that weekend, please come along. You can buy tickets on the website, and I've got links on my Instagram page.
And it's at the beautiful Pride Centre in St Kilda, isn't it?
It is,
Which is
yes, it
gorgeous
is.
building. Lovely spot. So
Yeah.
yes, definitely get along to that.
What about you, Maz? What have you been up to?
Well, I only had just one small update. And maybe it's a bit of a brag.
Oh,
I don't
Go
know.
on,
you can't
brag,
do it on your
brag.
own
Yeah,
podcast. Come on.
exactly.
But it meant so much to me and it was so exciting. You know those moments where you just like, wait, you're like, pinch me, is this real? So I have a bit of a fangirl crush on this historian. Her name's Robin Anea. She's a local historian here in Melbourne. She's just so great. I've read pretty much all her history books. Her books really helped me when I was writing The Butterfly Women. I've done a couple of her walking tours, and more recently, I did her walking tour here in Melbourne at the Melbourne Writers Festival. And I went with Ali Parker, and I said to Ali, "Oh, should we go and introduce ourselves to Robin?" Because I'd met Robin once before, but it was years ago, and I was like, "She's not going to remember me." And Ali and I, we decided that we wouldn't, like, we didn't want to be those people. We just wanted to be part of the group and everything. And so then later, my historian friend, Barbara Minchington, who I've mentioned on this podcast heaps before, she emailed me and she said, Robin mentioned your name to me at this event that I was at. And I was like, oh my God, Robin Anea knows my name. Like, that's incredible. And so I had a question to ask Robin, a historical question. So I emailed her. It's the first time I've ever emailed her. I wrote that email like 5 different times. And then she responded like pretty much immediately. And she has read The Butterfly Women. What?
Wow.
And she described it as magic.
Oh, that's
It is
so
magic.
wonderful. I mean, it is, but
Yeah.
that's so cool.
That's so cool.
Whenever I have self-doubts, I'm just going to be like, but remember when Robin Anea said your writing was magic? So I was like,
Yes.
oh,
No, seriously, this is a thing, Madeline, and I think we've got to do it. And I think I keep meaning to do it, and I read it somewhere recently as well, and it was like we need to do this. We need to get those moments anyway. And I'm sure you're never going to forget it, but like seriously, you need to maybe write it down or something and put it on put it up somewhere, like post it up somewhere. I know I feel like I would feel a little bit like cringe about it, but do it in your office, do it on your desk, put a little post-it somewhere. Or this particular example that had read was they were like I'll go onto Canva and like make a little like or anything like PowerPoint and make a little kind of slide that's just got all these fun things, like clip out the emails where your editor or someone, even if it's in a rejection letter, but they've come back and said the voice is phenomenal, or this has great story. Grab all those positives and stick them all together in one little place that you can look at when you just need a little pick me up. You're feeling
explicit.
shit. Oh, tick the explicit box when you edit this one, Madeline. Yeah, or even when you're feeling great, or even just start your day. Do it every day. Just remind yourself of those positive things. I think that's.
I know. I'm just gonna pull up that email when I'm in my depths of despair, I think, when my nervous system is all over the place. I'm just gonna let those words calm me down. No, it was great. And I actually was asking her questions about my book 3, which I'm about to start writing, and which I told you both a few weeks ago that I wasn't looking forward to writing it, or I was just like, oh my God, this book. And for those following along, this is the Gold Rush book that's been the bane of my existence for the past year.
Even I had a little bit of a when you said that.
Nervousness.
But it's exciting. Like it's exciting, but it's also like, man, that's I'm going to say shit ton of work because we're already explicit. It's a shit ton of work, like, isn't it? But
it's huge.
But it's fun work.
Robin has made me more excited. Like I'm actually so excited. She provided some great things, and she said, because I'm going up to Castlemaine in July for something else, but I said I'll be in the area. She's like, let's catch up, let's bounce off ideas.
Wow, she sounds wonderful.
So now I'm just like, okay, I'm excited. The creative flow is coming back to me.
Nice.
I'm getting lots of good ideas. I've got the first scene. I actually wrote out didn't write the scenes, but I wrote out the first scene, like what the synopsis is, and the last scene, so I know how it ends. I just don't know what's going to happen in the middle. But I'm like, wow, that's more than I ever do. So, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? It can always change, right? Like, so don't be scared, because I know you say there's more than what I do, and it kind of sounds a little bit like plotting a little bit, Madeleine.
I know.
But don't worry, because you can change it, and you know what? Your ending could be 1,000 times even better than what you've got now, because and that can happen. But it's great to sort of have that. You clearly have a clear vision of where you want it to end.
And I wrote out the characters yesterday, the 3 main characters, in 10 minutes. That always happened. It happened for me, The Butterfly Women. It happened for me for book 2, and then finally it happened for this book. And now I'm just like, okay, now I think I know who they are, and now I can take them through this journey. So
amazing.
So I'm excited.
That's so good.
That's
the best feeling when that happens.
It's so cool. So all the stuff you were saying before, Tash, about nervous system and about feeling towards things, trying to get yourself out of that, is so important. Because I know I need to write this book, not just because it's under contract, but because I really want this book to be written.
Yes.
Like I know it's there, and it has to get written.
Hello, this is author Rachel Fox McLeod, and my novel Disgraceful is out now with Simon & Schuster in Australia and New Zealand, with the paperback soon to come in the UK and the US. So Disgraceful is a deeply personal comedic drama about a 49-year-old woman, Grace, who has been the ultimate good girl her entire life. She's had to be, because she's been married to a high-profile Christian evangelist pastor for almost 30 years. So when her marriage and life implode, she decides to make 50 bad decisions before she turns 50 in an attempt to reclaim herself, until her family throw her some curveballs that threaten to derail her plan. Disgraceful's drawn from the chaotic and messy experience of my own life falling apart and having to rebuild it at 45, and then unexpectedly becoming a grandmother. Oh my God. Disgraceful is a funny, tender, confronting and emotional exploration of being a woman, female relationships, motherhood, sex and ageing, and the societal expectations placed on women that we all need to break free from. I hope you love reading it as much as I loved writing it.
Ladies, I'm going to change the track a little bit, unless anyone else had any other updates, because I want to talk to you both about the business behind our books. And this is something I feel like a lot of writers don't talk much about. And I know we've talked in the past about money on the podcast, but this is specifically about like the mechanics behind your business. And I thought it's a great opportunity to talk about this because it is the end of financial year, or at least it's fast approaching. And we are, all of us, we may be creatives and writers, but we're also small business owners. And so this is really, I'm really curious to know, I suppose, like what your businesses look like and what you do. What are your routines? Do you have separate bank accounts for your business? Do you track your income? How do you track your income and expenses? How do you manage even things like your physical receipts? So I want to know everything. Like I want to get into the detail. And I put something out on social media about this last week. And the number one thing that came back, the consistent message, was be organized. And that is just not me. And if you guys are organized, I want to know your tips. So Tina, I'm going to start with you. What does your business look like? Tell us.
Right. What does it look like? Interesting. It's a very, very small business, very small. But I think just in saying that, uh, most authors do see what they're doing as and their work as a small business. But for those who aren't there yet, um, when I first heard that word being used to describe what it is like becoming an author when you're getting paid for writing, the describing it as a small business and setting up a small business really made so much sense in my mind, especially with the fact of any other small business that you set up. There's a lot of work that goes into it first. There's a lot of time spent on it. You cannot expect to be paid for any of that beforehand. You go out there and you sell your stuff and you push your stuff and you start small and you can, for some people, who have a business where they're trying to sell a product, say, like, you could be at markets, you can be in the shopping center, you're trying to spread the word, you're trying to sell it to everybody, and it starts very small and you're putting in a lot of time and effort for a very little amount of money. But that's where you just have to start, and it can be years before you actually make any return on that investment of time and money that you've put into it. So I think that's a really important thing, is for a lot of people, the amount of time that you're putting in, the money back is just it's gonna take a little while for that to happen, which is true when we sign contracts, and we often, well, not everyone gets money on an advance, but you can get a little bit of money to start with, but then it could be 2 years before you see any more until it's published. So I think that was just a really good way to look at it in general to start with. So how do I manage it? I'm not that organized either, to be honest, with you, Madeleine, but I do have separate accounts that I get anything to do with writerly stuff paid into. So that's if I do any events, or if I make any sales. So I have my little square that the money goes straight to that account. My publishers pay into that account, all that sort of thing. And it's also where I draw money from when I'm paying for things to do with my writing. So, I need a new laptop, or I'm, buying admin stuff, or, a new printer. Printer ink the other day was $214. Can you believe that? Sorry, just a side note. I know. I was like,
what were you printing?
No, that's how much it is to refill my printer. And this is at Officeworks, and Officeworks don't even sell one for more than like $150, a whole printer. Anyway, side note. So nothing is being printed in color from now on in my house. Sorry, kids. It's all black and white from now on. Yeah, so everything comes out of that as well.
And that's only your business account though, right? Like, you don't buy anything personal from that account?
No, I have it completely separate, just to make it easy so I don't actually have a card that I can use when I'm out and about, though, which I do want to get. The only reason why I didn't was because there was a fee charged. Otherwise I had to get a whole new bank.
So then how do you, because if you have to purchase books, for example, that you need to read for the podcast or whatever,
yes,
that's tax deductible. How do you track those expenses?
Yeah, so if it's something when I'm out and about, I'll just use my regular card, and then I will reimburse it. So I've only just started doing like every Friday, make sure that you're on top of all your accounts. It's going okay at the moment. So I just need to check just to make sure that I've balanced that out.
And do you track that expense then for a future tax deduction? Like, are you claiming those books?
Yeah, I'll claim pretty much everything that. Yeah, so I'll normally have like reference materials, and then I'll have like stationery and admin stuff, travel expenses, things like insurances, memberships and subscriptions as well is a huge one. Yeah, so that's sort of, and I have an accountant that I go and see who does that for me. So he's very good with that.
Do you use like a spreadsheet, like to track it?
I do I know that I should do it throughout the year and keep on track of it, but I kind of do leave it right till the end.
Same.
At the end of the year. And I will track that kind of, see, this is the good thing about having that separate author account where your money comes out of, because then all you have to do really is to go through that and to find where your expenses are and what they were. So you can usually track it that way. Keeping receipts and stuff, though, obviously is very important. And my top tip for that is to take a photo of it, or to go into your notes app and do the scan and then you can scan it and it scans it in and you can put the details in. So it's not just a photo in your phone. You can have like a whole folder in your notes app on your phone and it'll scan it and you can write like a tag or something. But that scan usually picks up like the first line or the shop or something on the words that were on the receipt anyway. So it kind of tags it for you, which
that's a good top tip. I
can use
that.
Yeah.
Because
So
at the moment I'm keeping them in a physical folder, but I'm thinking I heard someone say you can take a photo and then email it to you with a easy to find search.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing for the app, the notes app, I think. So then you can just go into that little folder and you can tag it with whatever you want. But it's normally pretty easy to find in there. Physical receipts will fade though.
Yes.
Which is the thing that's annoying. Now, when it comes to fuel though, I do want to ask you guys about this because I haven't really been tracking my fuel as such. I sort of just, when it gets to tax time, they'll be like, how often do you drive or something like that, and we guesstimate it. But I think there's a better way of doing that. So yeah, Tash is nodding. Tash, tell me.
Go.
Okay, so with fuel specifically, I track every single journey I do for any writing related, and I look at the kilometers on Google Maps, then I double it. So like going there and coming home, because the ATO pays, I think, I don't know, don't quote me because I'm not a tax agent, but something like they'll pay cents per kilometer that you have used your car for business purposes. So definitely keep a track of that.
Where are you keeping that track though?
I have a spreadsheet.
Excel?
Yeah. So I have a spreadsheet, and literally every time I just put in what my kilometers are. And then on that spreadsheet, I also have anything that I haven't, that I don't know, that it's like I somehow made a payment that has, so, okay, let's take a step back. So I do have an account for my work because I work for myself both in counseling and writing. So I'm a sole trader. And that's another thing to really think about when you're setting yourself up. Like most people should start off as a sole trader, I think. Again, this is not advice. This is just what I've learned.
Yes, we should preface that we are not financial advisors or accountants. So make sure you seek financial advice. Exactly. Don't take on anything that we're saying. This is just for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, and also to help each other, right? Because then if you hear something that resonates with you, you can go check it out for yourself.
Exactly.
So I have come from a structure where I had a company with another director because I was running my counseling business like that. It's a lot of work. So unless you absolutely have to, I don't think it's a great, like for me, I don't like it. So I'm a sole trader now. So I have an account where all of my money that I earn from writing and counseling goes in, all of my expenses, including, by the way, people, check with your accountant. But I've been told that I can claim a part of my phone bill, which I do every month.
Yep.
You can claim a portion of your internet if you work from home, and your electricity if you work from home. And if you rent, you can claim, and you work from home, a portion of your rent.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That's so interesting.
My accountant told me that. So just check with yours. That is not advice. Yes. So I have all of that on this spreadsheet where it doesn't capture, the actual bank account expenses. So for my personal expenses, I have a credit card so that what it looks like on my bank statement is just one payment every month into my credit card that I can just leave out because that's personal. And then everything else is
business.
Just there. And with the receipts, I take a photo and I email it to myself and the email, I have the subject of the date and the place. And I immediately chuck it in my tax receipts folder that I've created in my emails.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good, Tash.
And what I do every single day, actually, because that's I like to be organized, is especially when I'm seeing clients, I work out how much I'm earning that day and I work out how much I'm putting into super that day. And then that's how I track what's coming out.
Good.
Wow, Tash.
Idea.
Okay, you are best practice. This is excellent. Excellent. And okay, so a couple of things. So on the kilometers driven, my accountant told me, and again, this is what my accountant told me, so please seek your own advice, but you can claim up to 10,000 kilometers per year without providing any like receipts or any record. but you
Okay.
have to be able to justify that. So as long as you can show that, yes, you have been driving that many. And for me, like, of course, I'm definitely driving 10,000
Are
kilometers
you?
time. Yeah, well, I live in Upper Ferntree Gully. If I'm driving to Carlton for an event and back, that's well over 100 kilometers. So
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say there's no way I would clock even close to that. But yes, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, and for example, the year before we drove to Canberra I had my book launch in Canberra. So we drove to Canberra and
Yes.
back.
Okay.
So that was, yeah. So back then, so I could do that from festival. Like if I was driving out regionally, I had a few events in Ballarat. I had events in Menion, and so I could easily record up to the 10,000 hours.
So then over 10,000, what does your accountant say happens?
You have to have records for that. So
Like what kind of records?
like what you're doing. So the logs of the dial, like the kilometers done.
Okay, all right.
Exactly what you're doing. That is best practice, Tash. But for someone like me who's lazy and can't be bothered, you can do up to 10,000 as long as you can justify it. So probably last financial year I could justify it, probably not this time. So I'm going to just do like an average, but I can look at, well, which regional events did I have? How long, if I look on Google, how long is that? And I can justify it. So again, this is what my accountant told me. So that's one. That's interesting.
There would totally be a vehicle log. Remember I used to write it down a little. Yeah, there is. I just did a quick Google. There's a vehicle log. I'm pretty sure you could probably just take a photo of your speedo here, there, and it will do it for you.
I think I might do that in future because I probably can justify over 10,000 as well, like what I'm driving. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I can confirm there are apps that will just quickly and very easily do that for us. And same as receipts. I know there is. I've seen the ads for them, and you can take a photo of the receipt, and it kind of just pulls all the words out and puts it and kind of logs it all for you, so that you can.
Well, I checked my notice of assessment. It was worth a $4,000 reduction last year, just those 10,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
So it's a big one for creative. So definitely we do a lot of driving, especially if you live in a city, you're doing lots of driving. So do consider it. And driving around to all the bookshops on your tours and So
and even other people's launches.
Yep, driving to a book event. That is definitely, that's work, isn't it? It's a business thing that you're doing. So that's really, really helpful. Do you use a tracking software, Tash? Do you have a spreadsheet that you use?
So I don't track to the extent where I know, I don't track where I actually know how much I've spent over the course of 6 months or have a sense of my tax returns. But I know that I earn so little that chances are I won't have a bill that I have to pay.
That's good. So do you do the I'm not sure if it's called BAS payments or BAS payments?
So with those quarterly BAS payments, you only do them if you're registered for GST, which I'm not.
Okay, so let's go back. So I'm not registered for GST, but I am considering registering.
Okay, you can't register for GST unless, this is what my accountant told me. I have to keep rephrasing that. My accountant told me that you cannot register for GST unless you earn over $75,000. And in the old days, whatever, I don't know what the old days are, but at some point the ATO would let you do it anyway. But now they've kind of stopped that and said you really need to be able to show that you earn over that. Because I think what people were doing was registering for GST and then getting a lot of money back, because how GST works is if you're paying GST and then you're receiving GST, they do like how much have you earned via GST, how much have you paid via GST. And for most people like us, well, for me, because I don't earn that much money, I would always be paying more GST than I earn, so I get it back.
So it's a nice little thing in your pocket at the end.
Yeah, so I think that's probably why they've gone no more. You have to be earning over this.
That's interesting, because my accountant said that it might be worthwhile to just register, even if you don't earn over that 70.
Well, I did ask mine. I was like, should I? And she was like, no.
Okay, that's the thing. That's a seek financial advice about that. But it's important though to consider whether you should be registering, because if you're invoicing, that's another thing we have to do as business owners, is invoice for events that we're doing, speakers, appearances, stuff. You always have to, if you are a GST registered sole trader,
Yes.
on your ABN, you have to add in the GST on top of your
Exactly.
speaker's fee. So
Exactly.
when you're quoting your fee, this is my fee plus GST.
And so on my invoices, because I'm not registered, I write no GST has been charged. Yeah.
Exactly. And an accountant even told me, like, I was submitting an invoice it was for a library, and it came back to me because I had up on the top tax invoice. I'd called it a tax invoice. He said to me, please remove the word tax.
Yeah.
Well, just no tax, just call it an invoice.
That's right. That's what I have to do.
It's not registered for GST. So can you please return that? So yeah, I found that to be really interesting. And the BAS payments are interesting too, because I didn't even think about this, but if you are earning quite a bit of money, it is probably worth setting up your business so what it means is that you're paying your tax quarterly.
So just on that,
yes.
the BAS is different to your tax. BAS is just for GST. If you want to, so you have to set up I only know this because I had this exact structure before. The BAS you have to do because of the GST component. Your tax is a separate thing that you can speak to your accountant about setting up so that you do pay as you go.
Okay, because I think the pay as you go is probably better for people where cash flow is an issue, because otherwise they might be liable for a massive bill at the end of the financial year.
That's right.
Especially if they've had if they've had an advance, or they've had their book's been optioned and they've been given, a pretty nice substantial bit of money over in that financial year. It can be a huge thing.
Yes.
Let's hope we all actually know the answer to this in the coming years because we'll need it from all our big options.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
but Matt, can I ask you a question? You said a term before we started recording.
Yes, income averaging.
What is that?
Okay, so I looked this up. And it's something I'm actually considering. I'm going to ask my accountant about this year. Only creatives, if you're set up in ATO, you have to be a special professional in the ATO. That's your profession.
That sounds really
nice. Professional. That makes you different from a hobbyist, because the ATO sees some writers as hobbyists that are earning like a small amount of money, or a special professional. We are all special professionals. So if you're creative, you can use this thing called income averaging, which means that if, like that example where you get that huge advance that year or an option or whatever, but then the ATO averages out your income over a 5-year period, so you don't have to pay as much tax in that particular year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I never even knew about that.
Good. Yep. And that's something that's available to all writers and creatives. But again, seek financial advice on that. And I think if you're going to access that, then definitely go through an accountant, and a specialized accountant who knows about income averaging and how to do that.
So this is probably a question for an accountant, but from what you've understood, can you do it more than once?
Yeah, you can do it every year. Yeah. Okay. And so it's this special thing that they look at. They just average that income out. You pay tax, and then there's implications for your following years, of course, like it's averaged, but it just helps you a little bit as a writer, so you're not paying a huge amount of tax one year, and then the next year you're minus in whatever. So just because writers and creatives, their income is not consistent like a salary. It's always going to have its ups and downs.
Fluctuates.
So I thought that was like really interesting. So
yeah, it is. I'd never even heard of that, so thank you.
The other thing, Shelley Burr actually commented on my social media. She said, and her post is available, people can look at it, and I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning it on the podcast. Her advice is that don't register yourself as a company, because apparently she got some early financial advice to register as a company instead of a sole trader. And she lost a lot of control over her own tax. And she said that she was applying for a mortgage, and she needed to get her tax return submitted. It had to be quickly, but she couldn't do it because it has to be done by a tax professional when you're in a company. And it's been a massive thing for her to unpick. So before you go, it might set, if you were an emerging writer and you've been offered a contract, you have to have an ABN. You have to get an ABN number. This is if you're an Australian writer. Do maybe seek some advice from your accountant about how you set yourself up if you don't have an ABN already. I think it's probably wise to just get some advice about it.
Mm-hmm. And it's really easy to do to get an ABN. But I just like word of warning for everyone, like if you type in register for an ABN into Google, like the first 5 listings are not the actual government ABN website. I don't know how dodgy they are or if they eventually get you to the right one, but they're not the legit ones. So just be mindful. Just choose the government one.
The government one, yeah.
You
don't. They're free to apply for. If someone's asking you to pay money, don't pay money. They're free.
Yes. And look, it can happen to anyone, because I have to say, here's a little side note, but can show how easily this can happen. I was trying to register my son for his birth certificate, and he was probably, I think he was like 3 days old or 4 days old. And I was online registering a birth certificate and paid money for this birth certificate. And then afterwards was like, and this was in my sleepy newborn baby, new mum phase. And I was just like, I don't think, that didn't look right. That didn't sound right. And sure enough, like I just totally been, and it's so like, I would never do that normally. I'm so up on all these things, but new mums just don't try and do that sort of thing. Get someone else to do it for you, or wait a little while, because, these things happen and they make it look very legit. Anyway,
of course.
They took my money.
Okay, don't give money for government things that are free.
No.
Is that your top tip today, Tina?
My top tip, yeah.
I love that.
Don't do things when you're sleep deprived. Yeah.
Also, on social media, I did get a whole bunch of recommendations of creative accountants. I will add those to the show notes for this week's episode for those.
I was going to say, that's actually quite an important one, to get an accountant who understands creative industry, because I remember just Mads and Tina from our like Discord chat as well, like the amount of information that people were sharing about what their accountants have told them they can and can't do.
Yeah.
So just check out if your accountant knows, because not just because they're an accountant doesn't mean they might know this industry specifically.
And it is very specialized. So,
it is, yeah.
Yes. Is that your top tip, Tash?
Yes, it is.
Excellent. And mine is to finish is the advice that we got from social media, which was just be organized, everyone. Don't leave it to the last minute. I didn't leave it to the last minute. I'd done about 6 months worth of receipt and tracking. So I only had the last 6 months, but I had I had expenses on multiple cards. And so including cards that I'd since cancelled. And it took me half a day on Friday to go through each of the transactions and to find out what it was and then work out what it was. Don't be me, everybody. That's my top tip.
When you said that, I just had this horrible sick feeling. Oh God.
Probably going to get audited. I'm going to get audited now. No, ATO, if you're listening, I was very
She did it all. Yeah, she's all good.
Thanks, ladies.
Oh, thanks so much for the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Book Deal podcast. If you are enjoying the pod, we'd really appreciate you following or sharing the show in your podcast directory, checking us out on Instagram and Facebook, or supporting us through our Patreon community at patreon.com/the Book Deal podcast.